we're here joined by Dr. Erin Baker, primary care physician with McLaren Macomb, and she will be telling us how to keep those pounds off during the holiday season. And Dr. Baker, can you share with us just a little bit about yourself and your background?
Absolutely. I studied medicine at Michigan State University.
Nice.
Went on to my internship at POH Regional Medical Center, and then finished out my residency at McLaren Oakland Regional Medical Center, and now I'm at McLaren Macomb.
Nice. Well, welcome. During the holiday season, Dr. Baker, many of us find ourselves attending parties and family gatherings, and most of these gatherings, they have rich foods and desserts. Can you share with us any strategies on avoiding weight gain during these holidays?
Absolutely, and it's going to be the thing that everyone's heard over and over again, which is moderation, everything in moderation.
Okay.
Looking at portion control. How much are you eating? Don't go for that second plate. Things we know inherently, but there's little small things you can do where if you're going to be socializing, don't socialize near the buffet line, or don't be standing around the hors d'oeuvres, because you'll find yourself just picking stuff up without even thinking about it. Don't take leftovers home with you, because at the end of the night, there's lots of food left over. Hey, take some home. If it's home, you're going to eat it. You've already had your treat. You don't need it at home to be tempting you later.
And you mentioned portion control. Can you just share with us what that might look like on a plate?
Sure.
For our viewers?
So most of the time, you're going to want to have half of your plate be some form of vegetable, and then you've got your carbs and your meat. If you're just kind of strolling through a buffet line, a meat portion would be something like the palm of your hand.
Okay.
If you're looking at fruits and vegetables, be more like a cup. And if you're going to add butter, that type of thing, obviously you try not to, but that's going to be about like a dice.
A dice size?
Yeah, a dice size.
Just one dice?
One dice.
One dice.
That's
Oh,
it. That's
okay.
one serving.
Okay.
And people always ask, well, don't people have bigger palms? But that usually means they're a bigger person, so that they can have a little bit more.
That makes sense. Okay. So, also we've talked a little bit about foods and portion size. What about the drinks that we have at the family gatherings? When you're looking at alcoholic beverages, and there might be a lot to choose from there, how do we not gain weight when we're looking at consumption of alcohol during the holidays?
Again, that's something that you do in moderation. You can make better choices, like say if you want to have the light beer instead of the dark, heavy craft beer that everyone likes to drink now. The eggnog is going to have a lot more calories in it than, say, maybe your glass of wine. Okay. So you can make smart choices as to which you are going to drink, and then safe drinking is considered 1 drink for a woman, 2 drinks for a man. So if you stick with that, you're usually pretty safe. And that's 12 ounces, so a beer, a glass of wine, or a shot of liquor is what would be considered 1 serving size.
I understand. Okay, that's perfect. That was great advice as well. So with eating rich foods without gaining sudden weight during this time frame.
An easy way to do it would be to up your game in the exercise. So if you're only exercising 2 to 3 times a week, you know that you've got these holidays coming up, you might want to kick that up to maybe 4 to 5 times a week. It's also a great time to switch up your routine. Many people come into the office, I'm dieting, I'm exercising, I'm not losing any weight, what am I doing wrong? They're probably going to the gym, or they have the treadmill at home, and they get on that and do the exact same thing every time, 30 minutes, walk at this pace. Try increasing the incline, increasing the resistance on an elliptical, adding weight training, trying a completely different machine. That will help you kind of break through that plateau. So I would say that's one way to do it. You got your portion size, you want your moderation. If you splurge, just work a little bit extra to work it off.
Okay. And as you're exercising, you might see a commercial that comes across the television during the holidays for quick weight loss solutions. It may be tempting for a lot of us to just run right out there and buy whatever that solution that quick fix might be at the time. So what could you share about the drugs that are advertised on television? I
would love to say that there's a drug you could take that would, it's going to melt away the weight while you sit on the couch and watch TV. It just doesn't exist. And the one thing to remember about these medications, they're not FDA approved. So they do not have to prove that they work, and they do not have to prove that they're safe. And I see there's a lot of stimulants. I also see people coming in with high blood pressure, with their heart rate up. So they're putting a lot of stress on their heart. The nice, natural boring way is just diet, exercise, and keeping it consistent. And you want to make small changes, because if you make large changes, everyone makes the New Year's resolution, I'm going to work out every day, I'm going to eat 1,000 calories a day, and usually within a month or two they crack. You actually have to just add, maybe if you've never exercised, maybe start one day and then slowly build up on that. Maybe cut back 100 calories a day instead of trying to cut back 500. You want something that's going to be part of your lifestyle, not per se a diet and exercise program, but nope, that's just what I do, anyways.
So when patients come into your office, you could also suggest certain weight loss plans for them.
Absolutely.
As well?
Yep.
Okay.
Usually I'll calculate out, depending on their age, height, weight, and then what their activity level is. We'll calculate out exactly how many calories they need just to maintain what they have, and then we try to figure out. Usually if you can drop it by about 500, you'll lose about a pound a week, and that's healthy weight loss.
Drop your calories by 500. Okay.
1 to 2 pounds a week. You don't, these things that you see on TV where I lost 40 pounds in 40 days, it's not healthy and it's not sustainable. And most people will lose that weight and then gain it back, and then we start on the yo-yo cycle. So it's easier just to take it down into something that's manageable. And usually I like to do a mix of diet and exercise. So if you cut back by 250 calories, work out 250 calories, then that's a little bit of a balance. Because going down, like some people, if you want to eat 1,100 calories a day, that's pretty darn hard to do.
Yes, I've tried it myself.
Yes.
How do you keep those patients compliant on those weight loss programs that you have or their plans?
Usually I bring them in once a month and we kind of work on it. It just depends on how motivated the patient is. Because no matter how much I tell them, you got to really have the motivation yourself to want to be able to do it. I really am a big proponent of calorie counting, and especially in the beginning. I know it's a pain, but you can try and make healthy choices all day and you could still end up over the calories. So even though you think you did all these things right, why am I not losing weight? Well, maybe that was 2,700 calories, even though you're making all the right choices, and you need to be eating more like 1,700. So a lot of people will make those healthy choices, but they're still not looking at portion size and actual calorie amounts.
So does it help if your patients have a diary?
Absolutely.
A daily diary of what they're writing
Usually
down?
I have them, it's so nice with our smartphones now, there's a million apps out there. So usually I'll have them track it in an app, and then the app will even track your macronutrients, because how much fat versus carbs versus protein you get is important as well. And to calculate that all out yourself is very difficult to do. So usually I have them do that and keep an exercise log. And then if they do stall and they're doing everything right, I can go through and pick out, okay, this is what we can change. This is what we have to change with your exercise routine. So that kind of helps, because usually you'll lose weight in the beginning, then you're stuck. And like getting through that stuck point is really where I try to help people.
I found myself plateauing as well.
Absolutely, it
So
happens all the time.
Absolutely, and that's great advice. So as a primary care physician here in Macomb County, is there any other advice you can give our viewers regarding maintaining a healthy weight, as well as being successful during the hardest time of the year, during the holidays?
I would say that the most important is kind of how you gauge success. So set actual realistic goals. Don't go to that Christmas party saying, I'm going to eat nothing but celery sticks. It's not going to happen. So you've kind of got to say, like, all right, maybe I am going to indulge a little more. I'm going to set a goal of working, exercising or working out one more day a week than I am right now. Or I'm going to add weight training, once a week, something like that. Something that is attainable, and then once you hit that, you can build on top of it. So I'll add another time. Or instead of 30 minutes, I'm going to go 40 minutes. It doesn't have to be. If you make these big sweeping changes, you're never going to stick to them.
So it definitely sounds like weight loss is a lifestyle change that we need to maintain.
I always say it took a while to put it on. It takes a while to get it off.
Well, thank you. I'm sure a lot of your viewers will appreciate that advice. And we appreciate you coming in and speaking with us today. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll be seeing you soon.
To learn more about ways to manage holiday weight, visit mclaren.org/Macomb blog.